listening to Just 3 Clicks, and this is episode number 32. It's a very special episode today. My name is Joey. I'm one of the co-founders here at Viddyoze, and today we're doing an episode with Frame.io. More specifically, we're going to be joined by Shawn McDaniel, who's the Instructional Media Specialist at Frame.io. And we're going to be talking a lot about kind of what Frame.io is all about, and how we're going to be collaborating with this amazing company, and more importantly, the journey that they've been on over the last couple of years. I know they've had phenomenal success over the last few years, so it'd be really interesting to dive into some of that stuff. So, Shawn, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's exciting to be here, and glad to chat with you all.
Brilliant. So, before we jump in, can you tell us a little bit about what your role is? So, Instructional Media Specialist, what does that mean, and what do you kind of do?
Well, Instructional Media Specialist with Frame.io would basically mean that I handle any webinars, external training for users. I currently have an ongoing series right now called Tip of the Week, and it's just kind of helping users get used to the platform, learning how to use it. And if any of our go-to-market teams need any special training or anything like that for their clients, I'll come in and help kind of facilitate that.
Awesome. Okay, and you've been there for how long, did you say? Sorry.
So I've been at Frame just under 4 years. So I moved from a customer support role. I was kind of the chat folks online, so I would talk to editors and producers, and I kind of worked my way to in this role by doing webinars during my support training session, or while I was kind of chatting with support folks, in the queue, I would be doing webinars and such on the side, and that kind of gradually moved me into this role now. So just under 4 years though.
Awesome. So from my understanding, Frame's been around for about 6 years. So you've pretty much been there for almost the whole thing, right?
Almost. I've definitely seen a lot of growth with the company. There's been a lot of changes since I started. We were working on a little tiny office in New York, and then we moved over to our larger office, and just the explosion of people that were brought onto the company while I was here. It's just was really mind blowing, but also really exciting at the same time.
Yeah, I bet. I think it's a good point to mention here that we're going to get into a little bit about what Frame is all about and how it all works. But I think the growth that you guys have had. We've had a really strong couple of years. Nothing like Frame, but we've had a really strong couple of years, and I think it's quite synonymous with the fact that video is pretty much like exploding, not just now, but I think for the last decade, video has just been going on this insane upward trend that I feel companies like Frame, other video companies are really kind of leveraged to take advantage of right now.
Yeah, I think the video world's just absolutely exploded, like you said. I think people have a lot more access to cameras. There's a lot more tools available for people, and there's a lot more outlets. So I think that just kind of creates this frenzy for people to want to be on camera. And in turn, when you have that much content going out into the world, naturally you're going to want advertisers to play in that space as well. So not only do you have private folks making content, you've also got advertisers playing along those same lines. So it's just like this explosion of activity. And since COVID, it's the remote possibilities have just kind of gotten even bigger. So I think that's where Frame kind of flourished a little bit, because it was like everybody's working remotely, so they need tools like this to work together.
Absolutely. I can see how a tool like Frame has become so much more popularized because of the fact that people are working remotely. Because before I even get into that, let's kind of give a brief understanding of what Frame is. How does it work? For anybody that doesn't know about Frame, how would you describe it? What does it do?
Well, Frame in its essence is a review and collaboration tool. It's the ability for editors and producers and video makers of all kinds to have one central hub for their assets, and be able to share those out and get real-time time-coded comments on your videos, so you know exactly where you're leaving a note. I mean, back in the day, you used to have to send out an email and put in a specific time code, but yet, if it's got a different frame, it could be a completely different shot. than what somebody's referencing. So, with frame accurate time code timestamps on Frame.io, it makes it a lot easier to collaborate. And also, it's become an uploader for assets. So you can put your media up there. You can put up proxies. We generate proxies for you if you're uploading full res files, and you could take those down and do an offline edit. Like I said, we generate those proxies for you, so you can bring down those assets as an offline edit, and you can share your hero media with all of your team. So it's a great collaborative tool, and it kind of covers all those facets. And I'm sure we'll cover more of some of the other Frame.io stuff that we have in store, like Camera to Cloud. But I think we're going to talk about that a little later.
I mean, like when I introduced this to the team here, the way that I described it, it probably sounds really juvenile, but when I said it, it was like, basically, imagine Google Docs for video. Like, that's kind of how I just like described it. And everyone was just really excited about it. Like, when we first shared it, it's been about a couple of months now that we've been using it in our workflow ourselves. And it's just the amount of problems we've managed to solve because this tool is just phenomenal. Because our old review process, so there's a quote here that we've got from you saying, like, whenever there's a creative process, there needs to be a review process. And I just wholeheartedly agree with that. Like, when the company started growing and our content team started growing, we didn't have a review process at all. It was just like, let's make content, let's get it out. And we started seeing the leaks and the cracks in that process because there was stuff going out that wasn't on brand. There was stuff where certain things weren't up to the level that we wanted it at. So we created a review process back then. And what we did was we used Trello at the time. And the way we did it was we made columns for every part of the review process. So it was like, right, this video is now in edit, now it's in review, now it's in post-review, and we had our own terminology for the different stages of that video, and it was okay, but it was so clunky because we had to integrate with like Dropbox to basically upload the videos, then we'd have timestamps on Dropbox, and then it goes back to Trello, and it was just so long. So when we actually looked at Frame and it was like we actually started using it, it was just like a breath of fresh air because it was like we've literally just eliminated the need for so many different tools, and we just made everything so much faster and clearer and easier to actually collaborate on things. Because the one thing I used to hate was having to watch a video and take all that time having to manually type in like timestamps and all of that. So been through all that process before, so I can totally see why the tool is amazingly popular, because you just need it. Like we could now work without something like Frame to help us with our process, with the amount of content we create. So yeah, I just got to say, amazing job really, because it's just such a fantastic tool. And again, we're not selling this, by the way. Like, so I'm just from a video creator's perspective, it really is a godsend.
No, keep going. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Working at Frame.io, we're really proud to work here. Everyone has the same collective idea of what the goal is, and as simple as it sounds, to us filmmakers and people that work in video, we know how important a tool like this is, and it's actually really insane to hear the methods that used to be done. I've never heard of the Trello one. That's a really interesting one, but it's interesting to hear all these different backgrounds and all these different methods of how people were reviewing videos back in the day, and it's hard to imagine a time without Frame.io. I used Frame.io before I even started working here as an editor, so I was very excited when this platform first came out, and it was light years and change from where I was working at, and just amazing how much more you can get done, how much collaborative environment it's in. Being able to leave annotations at time codes to point out, leaving shapes and arrows and drawings to pinpoint certain areas that you're trying to pinpoint on your frame. I couldn't imagine a world without it. So when I ended up working here, it's even more of a cherry on top.
Yeah, for sure. What you guys do really is in line with our personal values. Like, we have a mantra here called Just 3 Clicks. That's why we call the podcast Just 3 Clicks. And the whole idea of it is about speed, simplicity, and just ease. Like, it needs to be easy, quick, and simple. And that's what our product's all about, is allowing people to create content really easily. You guys kind of like look at the whole collaborative effort of making a video in that same kind of fashion. And I think that's why there's always been a bit of a synergy between Viddyoze and Frame, because we met you guys all the way back. I met Max all the way back in, I think it was 2017. We met in, I think it was Lisbon. And we actually had a meeting there with a couple of investors and stuff, and walking past, and you guys had this very big, flashy kind of booth and stuff, and yeah, got chatting with Max, and he was really great guy, and yeah, we've had conversations back and forth about getting to do something together, whatever it's going to be. So it's really nice to be able to do this finally, and have someone representing Frame and doing this. So yeah, just it's been a long time coming, this podcast.
Well, we're definitely excited to be a part of it, and I think that's part of Frame.io's value is collaborate with companies that we know we can grow with and we can find integrations with. We want to make post-production easier, and we want to make the whole production process easier. So we want to work and develop with companies such as yourself to continue that relationship, because I think that's important. I don't think it's just about creating a product. I think it's about creating a community where we can make things easier. So I think that's where our webhooks, our APIs, and all that kind of comes into play, because we want companies to work with us. So we try to keep that platform open and keep that excitement going. And it sounds like it's working because you're still excited. So we're proud of that.
Absolutely. There's obviously one side of it where you guys are doing the integrations with companies like ours. We can see the value in that and how that would be really great for our customers specifically. But let's look at the other side of it, for just the customer perspective. What kind of integrations do you guys have that you feel are just amazing for whichever customer's kind of coming into the Frame platform? What are the integrations that they could expect, and the flexibility that they can expect? Are there any ones that come to top of mind that you feel you just have to shout about?
Well, I think, there's a lot of answers to that, because we've got a lot of different integrations. I think Zapier is a really big tool to use, because I think that allows a lot of users that aren't necessarily really tech savvy, but Zapier kind of holds users' hands and kind of guides them through the experience to create almost customize actions and buttons inside of Frame.io in order for things to kind of work together. So I think Zapier is a great integration of kind of opening the door to a whole world of other things. I'm not an engineer or work in the API area myself at all, so I'm giving more of a high level kind of look at it. But I think Zapier is a big one. I think another big one of the potential of what our API can do is our Blackmagic DaVinci Resolve integration. They took it upon themselves to work with our API team and create an integration directly with their app that almost feels native to Resolve software. And I think probably our biggest one is the Adobe integration. So our Premiere panel is insanely powerful. It works on both Premiere and After Effects. So you're able to do all of your media transfers from there. You're able to upload your sequences. You're able to bring in your markers as comments and vice versa. But I think the biggest part about it is it's part of the application. You don't have to leave your NLE in order to do a lot of those functions in Frame. So I think those are kind of our best tools, I think, that we have out right now.
We use Resolve in our environment, and for us, it's just been pretty amazing, to be able to, we're not having to upload a rendered project to the web to actually go and review it. It's just, I don't know how you guys are obviously doing it from a technical perspective, but essentially we've got the project right there that we can see in Frame. We can make the notes on Frame, and then they show up in the project in DaVinci. It's the amount of time that's saved from just that process, because the amount of content we make might not be the same as other companies, but the content we do make is normally quite long. So when we're doing 30, 40-minute documentaries and pieces of that nature, the last thing we really want to be doing is rendering out 40-minute video. It takes 6-7 hours to render a video, then we get it online. There's one mistake, and then we've got to do the whole thing again. So yeah, you guys have fixed a really big problem with that. Who would you say are your typical kind of customers? Who would normally come and use a platform like this?
Well, I mean, it's kind of anybody that needs to work with video. I mean, it's kind of open to everyone. I mean, we've got agencies that use it for, photo work, to send photos back and forth. We have an image viewer, so you can leave notes, or annotations on your images. We've got different loop tools in there. So I've seen people use it for photography aspects, not just video. We see a lot of news broadcast use Frame.io. Definitely a lot of sports, highlights, things like that. But we're trying to open up that field to not just be for video, but and for post, but for the entire production process. We want to kind of tap into that door a little bit and make it accessible for even more users. But I'm trying to think of a specific application that was like, oh man, I never even thought about that, but it's not coming to mind, so I apologize.
No, I get that. So, okay, let's take a step back to just from a business perspective. So I'm just curious on this. Like, we had a lot of challenges over the pandemic, but mostly good challenges because we had so many people come online wanting to do video. Like, talk us through kind of like, if you can, like just that window. So starting from when we first figured out we were about to hit a pandemic, and then what happened in the company? Like, how did you guys adapt and evolve and deal with that situation?
Well, I think the first thing, the thing about Frame.io is there's a heart there, and they definitely, we definitely took it pretty hard because we knew it was going to affect productions. We knew it was going to affect people's jobs, and we knew it was going to affect our economy and our industry pretty heavily. And I think we kind of went into the mode of, well, everybody's going to be going remote. They still need to crank out content. And, I think Frame.io saw the need for our industry to get a little bit of help. So we offered storage, and we offered discounts for our users because we knew they were going to be working remotely. So we knew that they were going to need to upload a lot of assets and archives in order to re-edit those, to refurbish things, to put out so that there's content being still created. But we gave people storage. We gave users storage and users so that they can keep working. And we wanted to support that, as we knew it was gonna be a damaging thing. It was a tough time for everybody. So, but Frame.io definitely had a heart in that, and they wanted to make sure that they took care of their users. We also created, Michael Cioni created the Workflow from Home series to help a lot of users, transition from that process as well. And Cioni shot it inside of his house, that whole week, and they were able to use Frame.io in order to send assets back and forth, and graphics and audio, things like that. Their edits, everything kind of merged through Frame.io, and it was an example of you can still produce and make projects during the pandemic. Then when we started, we still kept going with Camera to Cloud. We still were working forward on that, and we were able to push for the first union project to shoot with Camera to Cloud, and that was Michael Bay's Songbird. So we still were pushing forward to try and innovate and keep things rolling, and show the industry the possibilities of what can still be done in a safe and appropriate manner.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the Camera to Cloud stuff, like how that works? And because I think I kind of get it, but I just want to make sure everybody kind of understands the beauty of what that actually is.
Well, yeah, Camera to Cloud is truly an amazing tool. And just like, I feel just like Frame.io kind of changed the way we do review and approval, I think Camera to Cloud is going to change the way we handle our media. So in essence, you're using, some hardware connected to your camera, which is connected to, a local Wi-Fi port on the set, sends up your proxies, from your camera. So basically you hit record, you hit pause, your camera proxy is up in Frame.io to whoever needs to access it. So your editors, any of your key stakeholders that need to grab that media and start editing with it, they can start using it. Same with your audio. We work with a lot of different, we work with a few different audio hardware manufacturers in order to connect to Frame.io. So ideally, Teradek Cube and the Scorpio recorder. I don't have the exact technical ones, but the basic idea is that you could send your camera proxies directly from the camera to Frame.io so that anybody remotely can access those. And you can start working and editing on your media immediately. I can imagine there's a lot of minds probably going, well, what can I use that for? Well, sports broadcasting, they'll use those for sports highlights, documentary filmmakers, news sources can get that footage and start editing with that immediately. You still have to have your basic on-set handling of your hero dailies, but your proxy media can be sent directly up, start editing it, start working with it immediately. And, by the end of the day, you may already have a completed edit of your scene or your commercial, whatever you're shooting. And it just kind of cuts out that whole process. Another part too of it is that you can ad agencies that are working on ads. Clients can't be at multiple locations at once, so you've got one central hub for everything to be in, and it's actually pretty amazing. We were shooting the launch video on Paramount last year, and normally when you're on a shoot, dailies, you can't see those on set. You can't watch those immediately unless you're at the DIT booth or you're one of the above the line folks. But it was funny. Everybody was on their phones on set eating lunch, watching the dailies. Literally what we just shot 5 minutes ago is already uploaded to the cloud. Everybody's got access to it on their phones, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a revolution in video because I've been shooting content for 15, 16 years now. So I still remember how, well, we still do it now. Like we don't use Cam to Cloud right now. So, I think it's really exciting as a proposition for us to start being able to create stuff faster and do stuff faster. No, that's really interesting. I love that.
We're trying to open the door up a little bit more. We just released a few apps that work with Camera to Cloud to kind of open that door up a little bit more of just not just media, but also production needs as well. So ZoeLog and Magic Viewfinder are now connected on. We just announced that last week, I believe. So that is one of our first in connected apps that will work with Camera to Cloud. And so ZoeLog, you put your camera logs directly through the Frame.io interface inside of the app, and then it sends it directly to your Frame.io project in Frame.io. And same with Magic Viewfinder. So, we're starting to step into the pre-production space a little bit and making that a little bit easier. But just want to get more hands on this Camera to Cloud thing.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I've not known a lot about this myself, so it's going to be something that I explore with our team here a little bit more in detail, probably over the next few days, because it sounds pretty groundbreaking. Look, I'd love to just kind of pivot a little bit to talking about how we are hoping to work with Frame moving forward. But before I get into that, like, are there other things that you would like to have the opportunity to kind of share with our audience and other people that might be listening?
No, I think we kind of covered everything. We talked about a few things I didn't even think we were actually going to get into. So I'm pretty set. I think Camera to Cloud is something big that we're wanting to get in a lot of people's hands, and we want to show people the potential. We're trying to definitely get more camera manufacturers, more audio devices to work with Frame.io. So there's definitely going to be potential for more integrations in the future, but we're only at the beginning, but we've already got 1,300 productions and 150,000 assets uploaded to Frame.io by using the Camera to Cloud method. So we've definitely got a nice foot in the door, and we want to keep that moving.
Okay, awesome. Well, look, Viddyoze is certainly going to do its small part of utilizing that technology and telling our audience about it as well. It's interesting, really, because our business is really not necessarily built up of users who have tremendous amounts of experience with creating video. The reason we created our product was because we want to enable, hopefully, absolutely anybody to create good-looking video without necessarily needing to have that technical nous of how to create one. So, initially when we first spoke to Frame, we wanted to create a collaboration, but the issue that we had at the time was that the Viddyoze product basically created short animated assets. So you could make like a logo stinger, an outro, and that kind of thing. So there wasn't so much scope for there to be a collaborative kind of environment for our customers, because there wasn't really a lot that you could really comment on, because it was only like a 6 to 8 second clip. So the reason that we kind of reached back out was because, you know, we're building the Viddyoze product up right now to be in a position next year where we'll be creating full-length video content. So, you know, Facebook promotions, blog videos, tutorials, and that kind of thing for our types of customer. So I think it's a really great opportunity for collaborative effort here, because our customers aren't necessarily really professional like a lot of your customers might be. So it's really cool for Frame to be able to tap into a market like that too, because I suspect that you probably don't have a lot of people like that at the moment. Or am I wrong on that?
I mean, as far as, I probably wouldn't be the best person to answer that, just because I don't work directly in that space to get those kinds of responses. But I know that we have a lot of companies that want to integrate and utilize a lot of Frame.io's tools, and we want to work with you. That there's no doubt about that. It's just finding a way to make that process work, and make it easier, make it, you know, a fluid user experience. I think that's the whole thing in the end, is making sure that the user can, you know, go through that journey a little bit easier.
I guess like where we're coming from in this, like just for kind of our listeners and people that are listening in, you know, our product is all about kind of automating the entire idea of the video. So, you know, a customer would come in and say, I want to make a promotional video for my gym, or for my local gym, or, you know, for my hairdressing business or whatever. So we would then go and craft that video out. But then, you know, this is the kind of point where we really feel that Frame's tools and abilities would really come in, because those customers could then go and share that stuff with their teams, with their internal teams, and say, you know, can you guys give us some feedback on what this video is like? What do you want to change, and all of that kind of stuff. And that's where kind of our kind of sync comes in with Frame. And we think there's a tremendous amount of value that Frame could add to the Viddyoze platform right there, that, you know, our customers don't have that right now. And our type of customers might not be exposed to the capabilities of an amazing platform like Frame. So I think it's a really great opportunity for our customers to understand more about Frame, and hopefully get them more brought into to more stuff that you guys are doing, and hopefully into your future products as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. I think that's part of wanting to get in the hands of more folks, not just on the professional level, but, you know, on a super amateur level. You know, we try to build our product to be very user friendly and you know, make it accessible to everyone. So I think, and your application is incredibly easy to use as well. I was messing around with it this week, and I think you guys have a really great tool. And, you know, if we could find a way to make that work together where, you know, assets can be, you know, sent to Frame and have that fluid experience where, you know, those users can send that out for review and approval, I think that can work for both fields. So, you know, again, it's a matter of, you know, your tech folks talking with our tech folks to find a way to make that happen. I think it's, I think what Jeff was calling it was a push and pull based architecture that kind of would work. So it would basically push assets from Viddyoze to Frame.io, and then Frame.io would push those back over to Viddyoze. So,
yeah. So the technical details are all being kind of ironed out as far as I'm aware. I'm not a technical person, so I probably couldn't really.
I'm not either. So I'm just like, I'm kind of going. But,
yeah. So I couldn't really say much more than what you said there. But, you know, for everybody listening, please watch this space. It's a really exciting time for us to be working with a great company like Frame. So I guess the last question, and a bit of a segue, I guess, like our next episode is going to be about office spaces and workspaces, and kind of our view on why the physical workspace still kind of matters. I'm just curious, like, kind of from your perspective at Frame, much bigger company, like, how have you guys managed the remote working thing? Do you guys still go in? Is it like a hybrid thing? Like, how are you guys working right now?
Well, so we had a central hub in New York. We had an office over there in the financial district, and they were, New York folks that were local to there would go to the office, but everyone else in Frame was pretty much remote. So Frame could go in and out. But as of right now, we're all remote. I think this is just a protocol I think we're going to hold on to for a bit. There's no real immediate rush to go back in. Now with the, working with Adobe now, I don't know how those rules will change. Right now, they're still on a remote basis, and then there's a few employees that can go in the office if they need to. It's kind of a hybrid model, but I think it's really up to the employee. I think top of mind for everyone in the company is safety. Just making sure that everybody's, we don't need anybody to get sick. We want to stay home. Let's not get into any super public environments right now until things have kind of calmed down. And, now we've got another variant coming out. So I'm sure there'll be some other protocols in place. But
sure.
I think top of mind is safety and all that for all the employees. But yeah, it's kind of a hybrid model, but everyone's remote. I'm super remote. I do everything right here in my office. So.
Yeah, because that was going to be my question was like, do you miss it? Do you miss like kind of the interaction face to face?
I do. I really like working with the team. I've been remote from Frame since I started, but when we go out to the office, we usually go out there a couple times a year, and it's really great to be with everyone and talk. We were working on getting an office over here on the West Coast, but with COVID hit, that kind of got sidetracked. But, for a while there, we were doing some co-working spaces like WeWork and such. And it's just really great to be with everybody. It's easy to, set up meetings and, we all get along. We're all like a big family. So it's kind of fun to get together and,
Now look, no, I mean, that's cool, Shawn. Like, I think, it's been really nice to have you on. Like, I think, like we always have a very fluid thing with these types of podcasts. If you ever hear any of our previous ones, it's always very natural. So we like to have imperfect action. It's kind of one of our values here is just we just get things done. So look, it's been lovely having you. Just to give you an opportunity, like, is there anything you want to add? Just from myself, like obviously if you haven't heard of Frame, you've got to go check it out because it really is a fantastic tool. But anything from yourself, Shawn, that you would like to add?
If you want to learn more about Frame.io, definitely check out our YouTube page. We've got a great set of videos from workflow from home, which I was talking about earlier, to actually talking about the camera to cloud in great detail. Michael Cioni has a great, I think, 13-part series that talks about everything you need to know about camera to cloud. It's kind of like an academy. And then I produce Tip of the Week, which every week I publish a video talking about little aspects of Frame.io that can help you kind of get started. I also have a weekly I also have a weekly webinar that goes over the entire web app walkthrough, as well as some other breakout webinars that talk about our integrations. So there's plenty of resources there to learn about Frame.io. If you come into one of my webinars, say hello, and we hope that you love Frame.io just as much as we love Frame.io. But yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Shawn. Thanks so much for joining us. And for everybody listening in, make sure you share this, leave a review if you love it, and hit the subscribe button on YouTube if you're watching it there. Go check out Frame. And if you haven't checked out Viddyoze, go check out Viddyoze too. And yeah, we'll see you in the next episode.